Good morning. Happy Sunday. We're approaching the end of the year, and I think this is a perfect time to take a deep breath and let it all go. A lot of us are holding on to hurts from the past, different things that people done to us, and we don't know by us keep remembering those things, we are reinforcing that behavior in our life. That's why Isaiah 43:18 tells us, forget the former things. Do not dwell in the past. When we keep remembering the old, God cannot bring new things into our life. And what are they talking about? Well, we know that when you think about something, two neurons got to fire together. The more you think about something, the more you build neural networks into your brain, and you actually creating that in your life. That's why the scriptures always told us choose life. You have to understand that your thoughts are everything. Your thoughts are creating the world that you live in. And when we hold on to this cynical past, when it's cynicism, when we always ruminating on what somebody did to us or said to us, then we're actually creating that, and we're being held prisoner of our past. So the reason we got to let it go is not for them, but it's for us. And what we don't understand is this chronic stress that we holding on to. This is the problem with most of the health complications that we face in our life. Chronic stress leads to depression. It leads to anxiety. It leads to sleep problem. It leads to indigestion. It leads to constipation. It leads to brain fog, lack of concentration. Because what you don't understand is each one of these thoughts, like I keep saying, changes the biochemistry of your brain, and it facilitates the release of different chemicals and hormones. These chemicals and hormones are getting to your bloodstream. The blood is the life force. So and you got to understand this, our body in this intelligent design, we have what's called a stress response system, because the way our bodies were designed, it was meant to, if we was facing a danger on the outside, then so many things happen inside our body. And that's why I'm doing these webinars, because I want you to understand the kingdom of intelligence is truly within. So when the way the stress response system was designed is when we sense a threat in our outside world, then the part of our the brain sends a message to the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus releases CRF, which is corticotropin releasing factor, and it acts as the stress master switch in the body. Well, as these CRF levels rise in the body, in the brain, then it starts to create anxiety, because that cortisol gets into the amygdala, the emotional center of the brain. So it starts to cause an anxiety. Then when we get too much cortisol in the body, it downregulates the immune system, which actually our negativity is making her sick. So we need to know all of these things so we can understand how to move in this new world that we're living in. Because those of us that are, under 50 years old, we were born into a world that our ancestors knew nothing about. And what I mean is, we were born into a world of convenience. We were born into a world of fast food burgers and prepackaged meals. And even this interacts with the chemicals in our body, because there's chemicals in the food, and the food talks to our body. These chemicals react with the chemicals in our body. And like I said, you're a walking chemistry experiment. What are you putting into your body? We got to understand that the food that we eat, it really causes us problems. 70% of our immune cells are contained within our gut. So if you got a healthy gut, then naturally you are healthier, because that's where the immune cells are housed at. So what we eat matters. We got to get back to eating foods that are closer to nature. We eat foods with so many chemicals, and like I said, a lot of these chemicals are disrupting our genes. When we think about the wide use of antibiotics that has been going on over the last 50 years, you've been sold out for profit, so they want the chickens to get bigger and faster, so they get the antibiotics in it. But we eat this food and we ingest these antibiotics. It disrupts our genes. So we got to understand the world that we living in. And what I'm trying to do is give you a manual for your brain and body, so you could take back control of your life. Because right now, depression is on the rise. And ages 18 to 25 suffer from depression more than any other age group. That's our young people. And not only that, suicide is the second leading cause of death amongst them. So we got to stop and ask ourselves, what are we doing, or what are we not doing to cause our young people to be so depressed and that they're actually committing suicide? I think most of the problem is because we don't know the nature of who we are and how to exist in this new world. And that's what I'm trying to give you, some information, so you can use that knowledge and apply it in your life. Because at the end of the day, when we look at all these diseases that are going on in the world, the things that we're suffering from and inflicted from, what can we do? What can we do? We always waiting on somebody outside of us to come and save us, but we have to be responsible. We have to be accountable. So all I'm trying to do is like each one be accountable for our actions. Let's put more positivity in the world. The negativity is the main problem with most of the issues we face in the world. 70% of our thoughts are negative. That's what science says. So if you want to change the world, you got to change your thoughts. To try to change anything outside of you without first changing your thoughts, you're just going to drive yourself crazy. So at the end of the day, it's real simple. It's real simple. You know, they try to overcomplicate it. It's real simple. As a man think in his heart, so is he. Watch your thoughts. Think positive. You can't have a positive life if you're thinking negative. If you think that you can talk about anything and talk about anybody, then you're wrong. That's why it says, man shall pay account for every idle word that he speak. It shall not come back to me void, but shall prosper in what I send it in. Because words are energy. And if you don't look at the spiritual side, well, on your body, when you speak a negative word, you'll keep putting cortisol in your body. A little cortisol is good, but too much cortisol, like I said, it downregulates the immune system. But when you speak positive, you can get some serotonin. You can get some dopamine. You can get some oxytocin. So it's on you, because God is a creator. You are a creator. Hence, ye are all gods. But look, I don't want to talk you to death. You know what you got to do. We're going into 2021, and we got to be mentally ready. We got to be strong. We got to be ready to accept anything that they throw at us. And I promise you, if you tune into your boy HK, you know I'm going to give you the game how it go, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it gangster out here. And we're going to do what we're not supposed to do. We're going to live happy, healthy, and vibrant in this world today. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so listen, drop a comment below. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what you're going to do different for 2021 to make a difference in your life. Okay, because if you're waiting on something to change without you changing, then you know what it is. Nothing is going to happen.